I do not want to eat in this restaurant. I would rather, dude. I would rather go to fucking McDonald's. I swear to God. Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Huh.
Like walking into here, there's nothing in here that's like, oh yeah, I might want to try that.
Why is the title German but the video is English? Why is the description in German but all the comments are English? What is going on?
I've tried celery. I threw that.
Oh, anyway, we're gonna watch why I only eat mac and cheese since like 17 years or something.
Shit up instantly. I don't want to say I'm addicted to mac and cheese, but because it sounds so weird, but like my body
Bro, I don't want to be mean, but honestly, he looks like he only eats mac and cheese.
won't let me eat anything else.
Like, he looks so unhealthy, dude. Like, his skin is so fucking pale and his hair looks like it's about to fall out, bro. I mean, obviously, if you only eat like pre-made mac and cheese, that's bound to happen, but like, still.
I didn't choose to be like this. Why do they have so many broccolis, you know? Do you eat the bush? I never would have chosen to be like this. Looking at that, there's like gore. I'd rather have random chemicals than knowing that like I gotta drain the blood out of my meat. Ew. I'm actually like serious, like this is a problem. It's weird for me to think of eating any food that's not yellow. My name is Austin, and for the past 17 years, I've eaten almost nothing but mac and cheese.
Of course it's Florida, bro. Come on.
This is my go-to pan, and I don't really like to deviate. There's another pan that my grandma sometimes uses, but like if a different pan gets used, like I can tell. I try to keep everything super specific, so that way.
Actually autistic or something? If a different pan gets used, I can tell. He's actually fucking autistic. Like, that's not meant as an insult. He's actually fucking autistic.
Stuff just stays the same.
How can you tell that a clean pen was used for something else, except if you're like have allergies?
20 years old, and I live in Keystone Heights.
Bro, his hair is fucking greasy, dude. He like went through it and it just stays up.
It's Florida. It's a backwater for sure. Everyone was kind of the same, and if you were any different than the norm, it was super weird. I like seeing it. It's kind of crazy. All stacked up like that kind of puts in
There's no way he isn't single.
perspective. Just a week supply of mac and cheese at all times. I don't think I've ever really met anyone who said, oh, I don't like mac and cheese.
I do. Vermont. What the fuck? Honestly, like, can you imagine just eating this one thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over for breakfast, for dinner, for lunch, for snacking, for just everything, bro? What the fuck?
I love this cheese, man. This is some good ass cheese. This is what normal cheese looks like to me, you know? This is what some cheese sauce should look like.
No, that's
I'm
not
not a heathen,
cheese.
so I don't eat with this like wooden spoon. I eat with some silverware. I'll just take a seat at my desk, and normally I'll just watch some YouTube while I eat.
Iti pupu?
Take a seat at my desk, and normally I'll just watch some YouTube.
Ita pupu. Eat a poo-poo. Ita pupu.
While I eat. Most of my diet, like 9 times out of 10 in a given night, is going to be Velveeta shells. I'll eat deluxe 4 cheese and normal craft, Annie's, and Bob Evans. Bob Evans is pretty good for like a microwave mac and cheese. I think most people see mac and cheese as a comfort food. I mean, you can't deny how good mac and cheese tastes, man. Like, It's definitely still like a comfort food for me because it does taste good. I'm like a walking advertisement for Velveeta, aren't I? But it's definitely a problem.
He's like a walking advertisement. Bro, if I was that company, I wouldn't want to be advertised with that.
I'm sick of it, but in the same way, like, I don't want anything else, you know? When I try to eat new foods, the first thing that happens is like blinders on the food. It gets to the point where it's like somehow in my hand, I'm about to eat it. Like as soon as it enters my mouth, it's just like a sensory overload of all the things. This is the texture, this is the consistency, this is how it feels in your mouth. Oh God, there's the taste. And there's a bunch of new flavors that you've never experienced before. Or even if I like what I'm trying, I'll still have like this just kind of involuntary gag. If I don't like it, sometimes I've actually just straight up thrown up. Like,
that dude is an actual fucking man-child. He's just a grown-up toddler, dude. He's like a toddler in adult form. I mean, look at him. He actually looks like this one iPad kid, dude. That like sneezes on, you know? Got any games on your phone? Yo, mommy, how are you doing, dude?
on the spot. I've never bought anything other than mac and cheese for myself whenever I go shopping. This is all that I'll eat of Velveeta. Like, I don't like any of these other things. Velveeta's always just been the most consistent. It always tastes pretty much exactly the same. I didn't even know they got mini ones, but I don't even want to try the mini ones just because that'd be different, you know, like too different. The bacon one grosses me out. I can't stand the thought of mixing that with mac and cheese. White bean? I don't even know.
I might woke up in the middle of the night. Yeah, I saw on Twitter, dude, you woke up at 1 thinking it's 7.
What that is. Anything that adds to mac and cheese, like it's mac and cheese, not mac and cheese and white bean. Like, and this is an abomination. You're going into some vomiting territory. I hate peppers. This makes my stomach queasy just like looking at it. The texture.
I don't even know what to say, bro.
Pasta in general is like my favorite because it's like not mushy until you chew it. I know it's so bad for you. When I read the ingredients, I don't know what enriched macaroni product means. Like a bunch of stuff that I'm familiar with, but then a bunch of other stuff that sounds like it could be used to make like a chemical weapon. I could get some 4 cheese, but like, nah. There's definitely a lot of things I'm missing out on because of not eating that thing, whatever that is. Like the color throws me off of that. Like the color makes me upset.
Bro, it's a root. Of course it's gotta be brown. It's a root. I gotta stay up and sort out some... Also, it like amazes me that they have so much fucking produce. When I was in Florida, like I didn't see like butternut squash or anything. Anyway, I guess they haven't sorted some stuff later in the day. It's also Black Friday, dude. For me, it's Black Friday in 3 hours. So yeah, nice. What do you got to sort out, dude?
I haven't even.
But yeah, I can't use Black Friday. I'm fucking broke.
Worked up the curve just because like bitter things is such a strong reaction. Meat is like the worst one to me. That was like a chunk of meat from an animal that had like muscle and fiber and like veins in it. Oh my God. It's kind of like a comfort zone in the hellscape that is the raw meat. Vegetables I know that I need to eat. Do you just eat an eggplant, like just take a bite out of it? Or like, what do you use an eggplant for? When I'm over there at the mac and cheese out, I know that there's something that...
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. And he's like, I cannot eat it. He doesn't even know, bro.
I can walk up to and just, pick it up, put it in my cart, like, this my girl. I'd rather just stick with my ride or die, you know? What brings you to counseling at this time? I have been struggling.
Bro, imagine you're the cashier in this main store and like every time he comes in, he only buys mac and cheese. Like, damn, bro.
4 years with being an extremely picky eater.
No, you're not picky at this point. At this point, you are not a picky eater, bro. You're just throwing tantrums for the sake of it. Like, that is not picky. You only eat mac and cheese. That is not picky.
It is affecting my social life, and I soon fear it will begin to affect my physical health. This is my...
Look at him. It already affected his physical health.
Contact information for the therapist that I found. I didn't even find out that selective eating disorder was an actual diagnosable disorder until I was out of high school. I was laying in bed and I was just scrolling through YouTube. There's like 7 people who eat only one thing or something like that. It was by Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning. What if you could only eat one thing?
The video is that old?
for the rest of your life? That is the question of the day.
Thought about that a lot.
At the very beginning, he starts specifying, and he goes, so this is an actual disorder. It's called selective eating disorder. It's where these people have an avoidance to new foods and they just latch onto one food. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. Like, it has a name. This thing that's been hanging over my head. So that means that I have a point to attack it from.
Have you seen a mental health professional before? Yes, I have. I was recommended to go to a mental health professional by DCF, where I was diagnosed with PTSD from an abusive household.
My parents did the best they could with what they had. My dad was really awesome sometimes, and sometimes he was not so awesome, you know, like there's a lot of conflict. It would get physical between me and my dad, where I actually got removed from the home. That day I was asked to take the trash out, and so like I took the trash out, and there was like a stack of papers right next to the trash. And so my dad comes out and he starts yelling at me for taking his, I guess it was like payroll papers or some really important like that. He comes up and he tried to take my skateboard from me, because of course I skateboarded. He walked back in and he was like, I just snapped that fucking board. I just broke your board over my knee. And like, that was the first thing that I'd ever bought like on my own. Like,
Gotta start shopping, travel stuff for next week, get stuff for my fanny pack, and maybe get something for Black Friday, like game or something. Nice.
with my own money. And so like I just turned and I kicked at the wall, and my foot went through the wall. My dad charged at me, knocked me down, and pummeled me while I was on the ground. And he slammed my head into a coffee table. I was all bloody. And
So when that happens, how exactly do you say he was awesome sometimes, bro? Honestly, like, if my dad would have done that, dude, he would have been over it. Like, there's no point of redemption.
I passed out on my neighbor. That was when DCF came in and started like an investigation. It was definitely during that time where like I was like just super, super sad.
Other than that, he was cool. Exactly, bro. Like, that is like a point of no redemption. That's over, bro. Never speak to me. You're going to the retirement home now.
That's where I get the idea from, like, I eat mac and cheese, because like in that time, it was the only thing that like, if I asked for like on a bad day, wouldn't cause conflict. I had to learn how to make it myself. It was always like, well, I know that I'm gonna have mac and cheese tonight.
What are you watching here? A video from Vice about a dude that is only eating mac and cheese for like the past 17 years. And only like one specific brand of mac and cheese. It's as soon as like the cheese flavor just switches up a little bit, he pukes.
Like, I can control that.
He never could say why he didn't want to eat anything else. We've never forced him, never even tried to force him.
That's real hard for me because I'm from old school. I was brought up to someone fixed my plates. You ate everything was on it, and you stayed there till you did eat everything that was on it.
Oh my God, I love my grandparents. They're very accepting. They never make me feel ashamed about it. It's never like, you need to change, you have something wrong. It's always like, we're just worried.
Well, there's no way he only eats mac and cheese. Like, he probably snacks something, right? Which isn't mac and cheese, is it?
That you're unhealthy.
I think he'll always be with me, you know, and I don't care. If he wants to stay here until he's 30, it's okay with me. Maybe not so much Grandpa, but he's a good boy.
Jared's like my brother, essentially. He's like my best friend above all. I can probably count on 2 fingers the amount of time that I've brought up like my eating with Jared.
I think he had told me about it before that all he ate was mac and cheese, and it seemed kind of weird at first, but I don't really judge people. I don't know, because it's like, if you want help, I'm not against helping you, but it's kind of one of those things like you can't help someone that doesn't want help.
Yeah.
And it seems like you get a lot of opportunities to try other foods and you show no interest in it. So again, I'm not going to push the issue because I know I can't change your mind.
True.
Bro, honestly, just imagine you're like going out and everyone's like getting some chicken or like a burger or some fries, bro, and he just goes to the supermarket and asks him for like hot water so he can make his Kraft mac and cheese, bro.
I definitely used to be embarrassed, like, oh man, I'm just weird. There was a time where like I just felt excluded. I barely ever even really go out to eat with my friends because like, I would just be sitting at the table.
Why does one have an Xbox controller, the other play? There's no way. Nice, dude. I mean, they're probably not even playing. That's probably just some Vice bullshit, dude. Or they're playing on a different screen because that is Steam in the background. So maybe it's just like two controls connected to the PC or something, dude.
That doesn't want help.
They could actually be connected to the PC because the PC was standing here and the cables look like they might go there.
And it seems like you get a push.
Man, I'm just with my friends because I know
So,
just
yeah.
be sitting at the table with my plate of mac.
PS4 controller isn't even on, bro. Does it need to be turned on if it's on a charging cable? I don't know, bro. I do not know.
And cheese as opposed to everyone's full plate. A lot of people struggle to understand it. So like a lot of people that I choose to tell about it don't ask, you know, because they know that I'm actually like serious, like this is a problem, you know. We're heading to ground zero.
When the fuck did they film that? They're in Florida and it looks like fucking shithole rain country.
Boxing. It became like a thing where like I just wanted to prove to myself, having the background of like my trauma as a kid and having PTSD and not being able to be around any kind of like physical conflict, to like going and being in a ring with someone and just like straight beating the shit out of each other. It felt like I was making myself feel worthy. I started boxing 3 years ago. Whenever I went for the first couple of times, like I just loved the working out, and then I loved feeling like I was like a part. 3 years ago, whenever I went for the first couple of times, like
I want to check like what part of Florida he's from, bro. But it didn't say.
I just loved the working out, and then I loved feeling like I was like a part of something. My coach's name is Giovanni. He's just the best. Dude's like a dad to me. I exercise 4 times a week, really heavily at the gym. I got up to like a really unhealthy
Those slow ass swings, bro. Come on.
weight because I stopped going to boxing. So like I'm at the age now where I know that my metabolism has slowed down. I definitely know that I have to maintain physical activity to keep myself fit.
It's okay.
Just to counteract my terrible, awful carb-filled diet.
Come on.
It's not the carbs, bro. Carbs don't make you gain weight. It's the calories, dude.
A little bit more, just a little bit more.
I went to the doctor for a physical 5 weeks ago now. It's a new doctor, so I told him I've only eaten mac and cheese for like 17 years, and he was like, when you're older, it's gonna be a problem. He was like, but for right now, I have no worries. Part of me kind of wishes he would have said something more scary than you're fine. I feel like I need someone to tell me like, if you don't change, like you're gonna feel the consequences, you know?
He told me he had a mac and cheese diet, and I was like, what? I was like, well, you know, you're boxing, but you're gonna have to start eating right if you wanna go ahead and get in better shape.
Yeah, true.
That's it, Austin. Come on. Show me you're a winner. Let's go.
When it comes to mental health issues, if you can't talk about what's going on, then you can't get the help you need. I feel like a lot of men think that's a weakness when it's not. You know, if there's a problem, the weakness is ignoring it.
Let's go. Let's go. Finish strong. Finish strong. That's all you got?
That's all I got. Not bad, kid, not bad.
You go work today?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bro, he wears the same shirt the whole time, and it has like holes here. And he's still like the whole time he wears it, bro. His hair is so greasy when he goes through it, it just stands up like he used hair gel. Bro.
Tell grandpa and grandma I send my love, okay?
Of course. More than anything, I want to be like my best me, and I'm taking steps to get there. Tomorrow I'm meeting a new therapist named Ashley. I
Well,
hope
this shirt, like,
it's going to give me the ability to be at a neutral, unbiased stance whenever I try new foods. It's like the stepping stone to being able to do the things that I want to do easier. It's been about 2
they don't show the shirt anymore,
years since I've been to a therapist's office. She had never dealt with anyone who had SED. Her solution was to just go home and like soak some broccoli and cheese and just try it. If only it was that easy. Whenever I left there to try and find another therapist's office, it was very, very difficult, and has proved to be very difficult to find any reasonable therapist who takes my insurance. Insurance companies seem to think that mental health is like a luxury, you know? Hello.
Austin,
How you
come on in.
doing?
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's fucking dodgy, bro.
Come on in, take a seat. Tell me more about your story.
For so long, like it was just a shadow that just like loomed over me. As soon as I knew that
Bro, he just went boxing. From the boxing, he went to the therapist. He still has his greasy ass, sweaty ass hair, dude. Same shirt and the same hoodie on.
It had a name.
I don't even want to imagine his putrid smell, bro.
Like it gave me like a hope.
What is a normal day like surrounding eating for you?
I'll have like a box of Velveeta shells, mac and cheese. That's typically just what I eat through the day. Like that's it.
Pretty specifically, that brand, a single kind, right?
I'm just alone in my room eating it.
And then if you went back to that planning piece, what do you see in that?
Dinner has always been water, pan, pot, you know, like on the stove, 8 minutes and
Yeah.
then like you're done.
That makes me want to look at what meals have been like throughout life.
I never remember ever eating family dinners like at the table, and I would always eat mac and cheese. All the adults said was just like, oh, he's just in his picky eater phase.
Yep.
Anytime I try something new, even if I like the first bite of it, I almost will always have an involuntary just gag.
What's the experience that goes with that gagging? What have you noticed?
Oh, it's embarrassing. Like it's super embarrassing.
I think through the lens of trauma a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So have you experienced physical abuse?
Yes.
And so if you think of fight, flight, or freeze,
Yeah, it was a freezer.
can you relate those feelings now to what it's like approaching foods?
If I sit down and like I'm in a room with the intention of trying a new food, then my stress like immediately skyrockets. Like,
Okay.
and it like stays up until like the penultimate moment hits where like I try it and then like I have that gag reflex. I'm like, all right, out of the way. I didn't like it, and then like it's done, and then
Yeah.
like it goes down, or like I get out of the room and then like it goes down.
You basically draw the stress curve with your hand whenever you're talking
Yeah, I
about
know.
it.
I noticed that. Like,
You're aware of what's happening. That's part of what my job is to teach people.
yeah.
Oh, weird, I swear to God.
Understand what's happening and that it will have a beginning and an end. It's going to come up
Yeah.
and it's going to go down like a wave,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we often feel it rising and think that it's going to continue to just go up.
Yeah.
What we want to do as we're approaching foods is know what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless, we're going to be working on building skills to keep you grounded in your body. You know, we'll be looking at a hierarchy of foods
Mm-hmm.
that you'll establish.
Right.
And so it's exposure, and then it starts to extinguish some of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
We build a new pathway, and that pathway looks like I actually can feel this feeling and go forward and,
Right.
and live.
I just hope like I can get to a place where like I'm equipped to deal with like what I'm feeling
Yeah.
when I try new foods. That way I can try new foods at like a neutral, unbiased look, you know, like instead of just having the massive anxiety associated with it, you know. It's completely separated from like who I am, you know. It's like a relic of whenever I was in like a worse mental place, and like it's just kind of stuck with me, you know, like
That is a really great way to conceptualize it.
Yeah.
It's a part of you that you don't need anymore,
yeah.
but that is so deeply ingrained
Mm-hmm.
that it's still there.
Yeah.
You have a lot of insight. You're pretty motivated to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So that way I can like slowly open up like what restaurants I go to and stuff.
So you
know?
want to be able to go to more restaurants.
More restaurants, just be more social with eating and stuff, you know.
What we'll do from here is just look at frequency and when you can come in next so that we can make the most of your time and your commute.
I'm super excited.
All right, Austin, thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, I'm so excited to work with you.
Safe travels back.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too. It was
Her smile is so fake, dude. Look at it.
wonderful meeting Austin.
Bam, it's gone, dude.
He has so much insight and such an openness to developing a better understanding. He's truly motivated to do this work, even though he knows it's going to be really uncomfortable for him.
I think it went better than expected, actually. She's definitely really cool. Definitely gives me hope, especially since she's so confident, and how much I'll succeed like makes me feel really good. Makes me feel really confident.
Mac and cheese for many is a comfort food. For Austin, while it has had
Dude, she looks like I know her. What the fuck is so weird? Like, she looks so familiar. Mama, do you know what I mean?
that effect, it's not about that anymore. He would like to be able to eat other foods, to have variety, and to eat vegetables. But he feels crippled and paralyzed by the idea of doing so. And so he falls back on mac and cheese because it's what his brain and body will allow.
Excuse me?
And so he falls back on mac and
Bro. It says 236 and I read 236.
cheese because it's what his brain and body will allow. It's where he can have some peace. And so you're having to work against your body to get yourself to sit with food in your mouth. The perceived threat is so much
Probably
more
wrong,
than
probably.
the actual experience. But you can't convince your body of that without doing a lot of work. to chip away at it.
And I'm not ashamed of who I am. I wouldn't want my kids to see me just eating mac and cheese all the time. While my kids eat a
Your kids, mate, you don't even have a girlfriend.
more balanced meal than me. Oh my God. I found out about selective eating disorder just by pure luck. It was just like a nameless thing that just hung over me. And like, I just thought like that was just one of my idiosyncrasies, like one of my little quirks. I definitely didn't choose
That's not a little quirk, bro. That is not a little quirk.
to be like this at all. This selective eating disorder just has its hooks in me and it's just like holding me back. It's exciting thinking like I could get to a point where like I'm able to try new foods and possibly, you know, like them and enjoy them.
Bro, you could say it could be a little quirk when it's like something like, yeah, I don't eat anything that's green. You know, like, cool, you still eat like red peppers and like yellow bananas and like orange carrots, dude. Yeah, that's not a fucking quirk. Holy shit, this is so... People are weird, honestly. People are weird.